Funny Reddit posts and comments. Every Sunday 3 p.m. British time. You want me to stop speaking Welsh in Wales? Here Reddit. I posted here a while back about an Ed making fun of me for stuttering in a coffee shop. This little gem occurred mid last year. Also there's gonna be a lot of hard to pronounce words here, so just in the slim chance you go Zona B3 covers this, I'll gonna include pronunciation tips. Cast. M. Entitled Mother. Pounds, little boy. Og, old guy. Me, yours truly. So for context, I was born in a county in North Wales called Gwynedd, sounds like Gwyneth, and as such I'm part of a tiny minority, because I didn't even begin learning English until I was about 11 or 12. I'm 21 now, so naturally I'm much more comfortable speaking my native language, Welsh. Now, because I wasn't content to be a farmer or a primary school teacher, I moved down south and ended up in Cardiff, where only something like 7% of people can speak any Welsh. No problem, I'm confident enough speaking English by now. I should also preface that I'm autistic and not good with confrontation at all. I also stutter a lot when I speak English. So I've been working in a coffee shop for a little while now, dealing with people and just generally starting to get settled in. One day, I meet a kindred spirit, this elderly man who's been coming in regularly more for company than for coffee. Whenever I see him, I get his order ready right away, and I sit with him when I've got a spare few minutes. I say he's a kindred spirit because he's another native Welsh speaker, but speaks very little English. I find that a bit odd considering he lives in Cardiff, but overly the next few days he tells me about his life. Og tells me how he grew up in Wallally, sounds kind of like Pulshelly, which made me really happy, because I'm from Cynarfon, like Carnarfon, which is just a little ways north. He tells me how he owned a fishing boat and used it to make his living, while his wife worked as a teacher. They moved down to Cardiff together into a really big house when his wife finally retired, and this went pretty smoothly since she could speak fluent English and handled most things outside. Recently, Og''s wife died of leukemia, which has made life a lot harder for him. The guy had a fantastic sense of humor, and I was happy to sit and keep him company, if only for a little, while here and there. I guess it was nice for him to actually be able to have a solid conversation with someone. My manager used to know the guy's wife, as both of them came in here a lot before I started working, so he was always sympathetic and made sure to pick up the slack a little bit as a result of me chatting with him. Even though I'm not fantastic at being social, Og had a great outlook on life, even for a widower. He always had the most interesting stories to tell, including one time he recounted how he swam back to shore after his little sailboat capsized in a storm. He always just had this duck all of you, I'm my own free female dog kind of attitude, which I admired a lot. One day we are gibbering away, and M comes over with the little boy's hand clutched in hers. M, shouldn't you be doing your job? Me, oh, it's fine, don't worry. I'm still clearing tables, but my manager asks me to keep an eye on this gentleman. Og is confused at this point, barely understanding a word, so I explain to him that she's just asking about something. M, what? What was that? She's getting really in my face now. Me, I'm starting to get extremely nervous, and I can barely get my words out. M, what did you say to him? Here you are, slacking off. Speak English. Og, pwhy. Who's she? Poi he. I explain to Og she's demanding we speak English. At this point I'm just kinda stalling talking directly to this woman, as I'm not even sure what to say. The little kid she's with is looking slightly alarmed at what his mum is doing. M, you're in Wales. Speak English for God's sake, not this Middle Eastern crap. Me, excuse me. M, you heard me. Pounds, mum. Are we getting food yet? M, not yet. Mum is talking. Og, and, dwi dem in sired sea snag. But I don't know any English. Dweethim unsha UHDC snag. This sends M into a right huff, and she looks around the shop, appealing to the other customers. M, sorry, but I don't appreciate lazy foreigners in my country. In my coffee shop. Yes, she really said my. What kind of example are you setting for my son? At this point, another customer, who undoubtedly heard Og and I having a very animated conversation, calls to her from the other side of the shop and says, "Hey lady, you're in Wales. They're speaking Welsh. You knew that, right?" A few other customers start giggling a bit before shaking their heads dismissively and going back to what they were doing. Stay out of it. She snaps at the customer, then turns back to me, although she's certainly gone a deep shade of red now. She's obviously doubling down. At this point, I'm just kind of frozen in social anxiety, not sure how to turn my mind words into mouth words anymore. Me, why yeah, we're in Wa. Go on. Say something then. And it better be in English. I look briefly to Og, who just had this evil, malicious compliance-like grin on his face. Og, in the thickest Welsh accent you can imagine, turn around, go right now, finger your mum, cheeky cow. Anyone in the immediate vicinity just goes silent and stares. Even I was straight up not expecting that to come out of the guy's mouth. In a right huff, stomps out of the shop, wailing little boy clutched in hand. I look at Og, who just bursts into a fit of laughter. Me, how did you know how to? Og then cuts me off and goes on to explain to me that his wife taught him to say that because she had this friend who would constantly poke fun at him knowing he wouldn't understand. His wife would nudge him and he'd deliver that line to shut her up. Og, even though you're not with us anymore on Earth, I will never forget you and your refusal to take anyone's bullcrap. I wish I had you for a granddad. R.I.P. Hey, do you like watching memes? If you do, make sure to check out my other channel, Meme Cheese. I post hilarious weekly memes every Sunday and memes from different topics randomly. Make sure to subscribe. Link to the channel is below. Entitled Mom Fights Entitled Mom. First post on here. So, this is an interesting story my mom and I witnessed in a local water park. I was very young, so I don't remember much, but my mom recently told me about this event and it's golden. Let me give you some context. I was on a trip to a water park in my city. My dad used to have a certain credit card which provided him with a free trip to this park yearly once. We had booked for the night package, and were all waiting in line from about 7 in the evening for the park to open. Opens at 9. Around at 8:45, the park was being opened, and our tickets were being checked. We spotted a mom trying to push herself and her one child down the fence to cut the line. She was quickly caught by the security and asked to move to the back of the line. Our M did not like this. She proceeded to argue. It went something like this. The park opens at 9, so here we are, right on time. We have the right to be let in this instant. God, sorry ma'am, but these people have been waiting from 6. It's first come first serve. It's not our fault they came early, we are on time. The guard looked baffled. We don't want to lose time, just because these people are jobless. Guard, ma'am, it's called a queue, you need to stand in line to get in. We were not informed about a queue. My cousin went in the morning yesterday, and she didn't have to stand in a line. Guard, ma'am, that's the day pass, and that too on a Friday morning. The rush was less. This is the free night pass for members and it's on a Saturday night. The queue was bound to be huge. Then M got mad and started to argue until she was threatened to be kicked out if she did not oblige. Now this is M1. The first entitled mom. The main event takes place in the changing room. The stalls were full and I was young, so my mom made me change out in the hand wash area. It was all ladies and I was just 6, so it didn't really matter. M2 walks in, a small 6-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy behind her. The whole changing room stared at the boy. My mom hurriedly changed me into my swimsuit when this lady decided to give my mom a piece of her mind. M2, excuse me, but what you are doing is wrong. My mom, I'm sorry, what? M2, how could you just change your daughter's clothes out here in front of people? My mom, she's 6. And I have her covered in a cloth. She is not exposed, and it's all just ladies. My mom eyed her son rudely while she said this. M2, still. My mom cut her off by just turning away from her and carrying me away from there. Now this sweet lady decides to take one for the team and tell this mom her grown son wasn't allowed here. Lady, excuse me, but your son looks like he is above 12. He isn't allowed in the female's changing room. M2. He is too young to change alone in the men's room. Lady, I'm sure he can handle it, can't you? She asks the boy before he even answers. M2. Don't speak to my son like that. Lady, I'm sorry, it's just that it's a very busy day and most of us are using towels to change, and we don't feel comfortable with having a boy of his age around. M2. Then just wait for a stall. It's not my problem. Now this poor lady just gave up and walked away. Now, this is the moment you'll have been waiting for. Clash of the entitled moms. So, M1 was standing in a line to get into a stall. She decided to bolt to the door before the person in front of her, and unluckily for her, M2 also bolted for the door and got in before her, and oh boy, they started a riot in the changing room. M1, excuse me, I was here first. M2, I have 2 kids, they need to use it, and I won't change them outside like some people. M1, we stood in line. Wait your turn. M2, ugh, just wait a few minutes and we will be done. M1, this is ridiculous, I will call security. M2, call if you want, you don't know who I am. M1 yelped for the security, and one of them came in. Security guard, hi ma'am, what's wrong? I very much like this guard lady. M1, she stole the changing room from me and my kid. Guard, UHH ma'am, why did you steal the room from her? M2, how dare you speak to me like that? I just took what I paid for. I will not change outside, which by the way, is what you should be looking at. These uncultured people are all changing outside the rooms and it's disgusting. The guard just ignored her comment and looked over at her son. Guard, wait, ma'am, how old is your son? M2, he is 14. He is just a small boy. Guard, first of all, your small boy is not allowed in the ladies' rest area. Secondly, would you please kindly make way for M1 as she was here first? M2, what? I will file a complaint. The employees here are terrible. Guard, the complaint box is at the edge of the information desk, ma'am, now please kindly step out. She grunted and walked out. Now M1 happily entered the stall to change. Unfortunately, M1 didn't get much of a punishment, but at least she got told off by a guard in the beginning. M2 got what she deserved, and I had fun. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an upload. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter for exclusive updates and content as well. Goodbye.